Hi guys, how are you? I'm sorry for the delay. I was supposed to be here like 17 minutes ago. Um, this is Paul Andres Serrano, and my video for today is called "The Hallucination." Um, it's from a series called "The Hallucination." This is the part number 4, and it's called Trumpets. In number part of the number of part the part number 1 to 3, they are in Spanish, but this one I wanted to be in English because of the subjects it involves, right? In the part 1 of it, so in case you haven't seen them, I I told you that I was told that I'm seeing things, that I like talk to people and like from all over the world, different people. The TV talks to me, and people take pictures of me on the street and whatever. And in that video, I told you that the people around me says it's because of drugs, but I believe it's true. So I in this series I talk about it like if it was real. Like I mean, I don't consider the opinions of others. The chat is open if you want to tell me anything. I noticed there's someone connected. Um, no, there's no one. It's me. Oh my god. This video is going to be a little long, I think, or maybe I like divide it in parts. Um, in the second part of the hallucination, I told you that the first stage of my situation or condition, it was all related with sex. I thought I was being recorded as I was having sex with people. Um, I thought they were like making porn movies with me, not because I thought that I was like hot or something, but just because when I saw people, it was like they behave in a weird way. In the second part, in the third part, sorry, I corrected, not corrected because I, right now I don't even know what what is causing all this. But in the third part, I told you how after the first impressions, I began to believe that it was all due to the school. You know that a television company had bought the university where I studied, and that they were doing like a reality because then all my classmates were involved. I was right starting school. It was for the first semester, and my classmates did like weird stuff. And in this part, this is the fourth part, is where when it all got more complicated, mainly because this is not like the first why it happened, but the part where I noticed it was becoming more complicated was when the president of the country, Mexico, started like talking to me on the television. He didn't say my name. He didn't, but he talked about stuff that I was leaving, and he seemed to be like seeing me and like telling me stuff. No, not nothing in particular, but just like he was aware that I was there. He wasn't the first person. There were also like another um, TV, I don't know, hosts, TV hosts, people, or like people making stand up, and all that. But then it's like when it got really messed up. Um, I didn't. I was like, what's happening? What is this? Mm, Previously, I had like in some moments of the previous stages when I thought it was all the university. I had like said a couple of things about politics, like maybe also feminist stuff, and but also like I don't know. For example, there was one day when I wrote on with how do you call this thing to write in a chalkboard? I don't remember, but with one of those, I wrote in a wall a letter to like to Trump, like which was saying you prohibit drugs, but we have to deal with the debts, like or the war is even worse, um, or what else? Something about the migrants, situations because of the caravan and all of that stuff, and I believe that's what like called people's more people attention. My English is terrible today. I'm sorry. And I was like, I don't know. It was so weird. Um, then like I started receiving threatening messages. There were people like who tried to make me turn against the president because I was like a supporter of him. And we'll get later to the reason because of why I say I was and not am. But yeah, I was like a big fan of Andres Manuel López Obrador, and like some of these voices which talk to me on the internet or on television or whatever were from some like enterprises. I'm not gonna say any names because it's not worth it, like to make a problem or a chaos. But it's true that I started like receiving confusing messages. These also were messages related to drugs. Like some of them tell me to keep using and supporting role, like the legalization of drugs and whatever. And some others told me to quit, and like, or some others told me to stop like talking or relating to these subjects or matters and start like talking about some other things. The feminism was a huge deal also. For example, in my school, one day I found like the all the walls like filled with little signs, like with different messages about feminism. Some of them supporting me, and some of them like against me. As I told you, not any of them had my name, but if you like made the addition of all of them and gather them, there were no other mm, other like environment or topic where it made sense. It was like too specific to be something apart. So I didn't know what to do. I mean, it was so weird. And the president was like very. I mean, he like tried to, or he wanted me to quit using drugs, but he was like more comprehensive than other people, and it was like kind of nice because like people can be very prejudiced and impositive when it comes to a problem like this. They think like you. For example, my family thinks that I'm doing that I do it for to hurt them and to make a problem, and it's not that at all. It's because I like them, and maybe I got lost on the way, or whatever. uh, Andres Manuel understood this, and he was like more comprehensive and more. But as I said, he never said like it's okay, you go and live the good life. Uh, then the stuff got complicated even more when I started noticing attention from Donald Trump in a couple of things he said on his Twitter. And he was like kind of mad because I wasn't, I'm not, and I'll never be a big fan of him, you know. Um, I'm not gonna say any personal opinion about him, but just the fact that he was using migrants to be the fund the, of hate against migrants, to be the basement for his political platform in 2014, you know, was like crazy to me. In 2016, I think. Well, I couldn't believe it. I didn't make sense in my mind. It was like, to me, it was like something of another century of to use hate speech as campaign. You know, less in a country where half of the people are migrants from the zone. You are like mm, the like undermining. You know, I think that's the word. I hope I said it okay. Um, I'm also not a big fan of. I don't hate the United States or anything, but I'm not a big fan of many of the politics. You know, like this kind of related to many of the things that happening to me now, because I believe that each country, each person, each group should be responsible and free to take their own decisions. Like women, they should be able to decide over their bodies, you know, and decide whether they want to have a baby or not. Not just because they are pregnant, they ought to have it. So the United States like have a history of interventions in conflicts around the world, where they go and give freedom, you know, freedom that sometimes wasn't asked. Uh, as I said, this is just my opinion, and it's not intended to bother anyone. I know that many people won't like it because, like American cinema, for example, it like gives that sense that you have to save the world and you have to be uh, everywhere to where there's trouble. You know, well, there's also people who want to live different, not slaves, and it's kind of complicated, you know. But well, for example, like these politics are making that from 20 or 30 years ago, Mexico is in war against narco traffic instead of looking for another ways of solving this problem, like legalization, like, you know, campaigns of conscience of education or whatever against drugs, instead of only fighting and killing and only Mexicans policies and policemen and Mexican narcotraffic men um, die. So it's kind of difficult to see all of this and like not scream for another approachments use, you know, because this is obviously not working. I mean, like in the United States you have a lot of people who consume drugs, like a lot. It's the country in the world which that are more consumers, you know. And in Mexico we have like the biggest provider of drugs net. Um, the strongest narcotraffic mafia mob, and I don't believe it's like um, like it just happened because of nothing. That we are next to the biggest consumer in the world. So I believe that we have a wrong approach, and we need to change it. So I started talking about these things, and really, my English is so terrible today. Maybe it's because I don't know. And so I started noticing that also in the United States we're paying attention, and it was pretty weird. In the beginning, I thought there was another TV show, related to the one like The Voice, which is made in many countries, or X Factor, for example. And you have X Factor Mexico, and you have X Factor Spain, and X Factor Bulgaria, and whatever. I thought that maybe this show was one of those. And at some point, I also believed that I had won the Mexican stage, and I was like competing against the next stage participants, which were people from other places. Mm, I don't know when. I don't remember when I throw that idea, but what I remember is that it was completely like it became a certainty to me that something pretty weird was happening. I'm going to cut after this, but I want to leave you like with this, and tomorrow I think we'll um, uh, take it from here. This is the part, like the most important part that I wanted to leave you with, and this is the reason I'm doing this video in English. Um, this is also pretty important to me, but more than important to me is more important to you. I noticed, I read what uh, Donald Trump attitude towards your elections was causing this days ago, a few days ago, and to everyone, to the followers of Trump and the people against him, I want to leave you with this. The moment when I noticed that something pretty weird was happening was when in 2018, when Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador won the election of Mexico, Donald Trump didn't even care to write a message of congratulations, or like call him and make contact and see how were the countries going to work together. Nothing happened. Donald Trump was like ignoring, and this president doesn't exist to me because he's from the socialist side and whatever. And he was totally against Andres Manuel. Previously, his whole campaign was against migrants and against Mexicans, and he was like Mexicans, Mexicans, and Mexicans. This. And then like all of a sudden in 2020, he receives Andres Manuel, and like a huge party, and he talks about changing politics and making stuff for the commerce between the countries, and like many stuff they never had talked about. And it was so weird. And the election were coming, and so I wonder why. I know that some people think that I want to divide my country, your country, in rich and poor, and migrants and immigrants. But it's not that. What I want is all the opposite. Like, what I would love is to find a way to work together and like diminish the gap between us. But the guy who was like making hate speech from one side to another, all of a sudden had changed. Didn't it like ring your bell or something? Like made you start thinking about it? Like wonder who this man was and why did he say that this guy is the one who is want to divide us? I don't know. What like I wish you consider it. I'm going to go. I love you. Please, I'm open to discussion. Don't get mad. Instead of that, come and write me something, and I'll be glad to discuss with you. I'm not trying to impose anything. Goodbye. ¿Quién?